Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Spill the Tea with Tommy D. This week we are going to continue our doing some teas by the company called The Tea Spot, which shout out to them. They had a really nice interactions with my last video when I did their matcha, comments, and very nice words. So thanks to the Tea Spot. I'm glad you guys liked the videos. So this week we're going to be doing another tea from the Tea Spot called Coconut Cabana. It is a flavored oolong tea. The oolong tea in it, the base oolong, is called a milk oolong. So if you remember the oolong, the episode we did on some oolong teas, there are darker oolongs and greener oolongs, and because of these are balled up into more smaller, tiny pellets, this is a greener oolong, which also tends to have more of that creaminess. As if you remember, we did the a darker oolong, and that one's a little more floral and kind of closer to a black tea. So this is a milk oolong tea with vanilla and coconut pieces in it. It smells really nice. The coconut shavings add a very nice flavor to it, a little touch of that sweetness. I can smell the vanilla. And what I really like about this too is I can also smell, sometimes with certain flavor teas, the flavoring kind of covers up the tea smell, but I can smell that sweet creaminess of the oolong, the natural creaminess of the oolong tea. So again, and the tea goes flying. There it is. All right. So if you can see the coconut shavings in this, the little coconut pieces. I am a huge fan of coconut. I love it. I love when people have boxes of chocolates because nobody eats the coconut ones, so Tom gets to eat the coconut ones. So yeah, so we have definitely a greener oolong. I can see some darker oolong pieces in there, a couple very twisted up bald little pellets. And the vanilla is probably more of a scented vanilla, like a vanilla essence or a vanilla oil. Before I continue to do the tea, I noticed this on the back. I like this. It comes in a nice little cute skinny can. And then, just so you know, the Tea Spot has a 10% pledge. They donate 10% of all sales in kind to cancer and community wellness programs. So not only do they make great tea and they're very nice, they also help out people, so that's really awesome. So for this oolong tea, we are going to do, according to their instructions, which I also agree with, is going to be 1 rounded teaspoon per 8 ounces of water, and it's a 2 to 4 steep time. And of course, so in their instructions, they say boil the water, cool 2 minutes, and in parentheses 195, which is spot on. Instead, I am going to use my 1 ice cube method that I do. You could let it sit for a couple minutes. This is a 14-ounce mug, and I'm going to do a 3-minute steep time. So I did like 1 rounded teaspoon and 1 flattened teaspoon, and that should be a very good ratio for this oolong tea. All right, so let's brew this Coconut Cabana. So I got my boiling water right here. I'm going to pour that in, let that ice cube melt away so we don't burn these tea leaves. And now the milk oolong is from China. Most oolongs are from China, but I've had some from Taiwan. There's a few different varieties out there, but China is definitely known for their oolongs. Alright, so got my strainer here. Got some Coconut Cabana. Ice cube is melted. So here we go. Cool. So I'm what most people would say is the type of guy who people would kind of say needs to quote unquote grow up, because I play a lot of video games. I play Dungeons and Dragons. But if it's one thing I've been feeling better about, is the one thing that makes me feel more of an adult is when I see a full-grown man walk into a store and they ask him to put a mask on and he throws a full-on temper tantrum. Because it seems like those are the most people that seem to be having the hardest time coping with this mask situation is like full-grown men, and it is embarrassing. Because they'll walk in, I'll be in a store and they'll just be like, you can't make me wear a mask, this isn't even real, blah, 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 Cuomo, blah, 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 liberals. I understand that people don't want to be told what to do. But what is really the big deal? Because there have been many situations where things were one way and they had to change. We didn't wear seatbelts for a while. They didn't exist. And then people were like, well, people are flying out of their cars and dying, so maybe we should make a seatbelt law? And we abide by that. Then also, for years, people were putting lead in everything. Then all of a sudden they're like, oh wait, actually this is poisonous. And I wonder, like, were there people complaining about that? Like, what do you mean lead's poisonous? Doesn't matter, I don't need to wear my seatbelt and my head is hard. I don't know, people are crazy. It's like, I see them going, like, I'll see them throwing a hissy fit. By the time they're done with their little emotional breakdown, I've been in the store, I got my stuff, I left, and I took off my mask. Also, apparently now masks have become the bumper stickers of the face. Because more and more people are just, why does everyone have to put their political or ideological things right on their face? I feel like it's only a matter of time before we see like stick figure families and my child is an honor student masks. And it's just so rude. Like, at least if it's a t-shirt, I can look at your face and talk to you. But I feel like when you write your political views on a mask, it just gives you the weirdest form of Tourette's. Because, like, it's the first thing I see. So in my mind, I'm just like, I look up, I'm like, hello, Black Lives Matter. Okay, all right. Yes, all right, you know. It's like, just, hi, how you doing? Make America great again. All right, just let me say hello. Talk to me. Get to know me. Then after maybe a few weeks down the line, we become friends. Then talk about your political opinions. You don't need to start with that. I don't know. Let's just go back to having conversations with people, and it doesn't always have to be about that. All right. That is the tea. Spilled it. Boom. There it is. Let's taste some Coconut Cabana by the Tea Spot. So we have our freshly brewed Coconut Cabana by the Tea Spot. Very nice. Definitely a very solid oolong color there. It's a bit darker than I would have thought, but it has a very nice, just brownish. Again, it's not going to have that greenish from a green tea. It's not going to have that dark brownness or reddish brown from a black tea because an oolong is partially oxidized. It's right in the middle somewhere. So let's take a look at these leaves. Let's take a look how this pans out. Alright, so the oolong leaves, again, they tend to be a little bit bigger, so they definitely opened up. They unfurled a lot. The coconut pretty much looks the same. It's not going to become a coconut again or anything. I do smell less of the coconut and the vanilla and more of that fresh, smooth creaminess of the oolong. That. And oolong is great for multiple infusions, so this would definitely be a good tea to try out the second, maybe even third infusion. And that way you can see how the flavor changes. So the brew, the first thing I smell is a little bit of that toastiness almost from that coconut. And I think that might be a combination of the that oxidation process from the oolong tea leaves mixed with the coconut. Because it wasn't a toasted coconut, I don't think, in the actual tea. But it almost gives it that aroma of like a toasted coconut because of the tea leaves. Yeah, mostly toasted coconut is kind of what I taste, or smell. It's very, very tasty. I can taste, so it's really, the coconut is much heavier. If you're going to smell the tea right out the gate without brewing it, you're going to smell a lot more coconut. The flavor is much more blended when you actually brew the tea. I can taste more of the oolong tea, but again, this is a milk oolong. It's going to add to that creaminess. Yeah, it's really good. I get the coconut. The vanilla's a little light. I don't taste as much of the vanilla. I smelled a little bit more of the vanilla. So this is definitely, this isn't going to be your herbal-like tea drinker's cup of tea. Because the flavors are a little more subtle and nuanced than if you were to just get like a chai, where it's like, here's all of this, like that rooibos chai. It's like mostly just all those flavors. This is much more well blended and subtle on most of the flavors, although the coconut does stand out. There is a little bit of the vanilla, though. I don't want to say the vanilla is not present. The vanilla, actually, I feel like it kind of blends a little bit towards the end with the milk oolong. So when I take that first sip, I get the coconut, I get that little bit of kind of roastiness from the firing and what they use to stop the oxidation process, and then at the end it smooths out with that milk oolong and that vanilla. And I'll definitely make another cup of this. That coconut hits me right in the back of the throat too. Really, really tasty. Good. I actually would probably want to try this one iced too. It's still really, really, really hot. So I'll probably give this one a try iced in my own time. But that's our second tea by the Tea Spot. Coconut Cabana flavored oolong tea. This has been very good tea. I definitely give it. I highly recommend the Tea Spot. Again, they're hitting all the stops right now. Doing really good with the matcha. Really, really good matcha. Really nice flavored oolong. They donate money for good causes, so I can't recommend them enough right now. I have one more tea by the Tea Spot. We are going to do a Dragon Well, which is a very traditional Chinese green tea. So it's pan-fire green tea, and that's what we're going to do on the next episode. So, until next time, I stop putting ridiculous phrases and things on your masks. Nobody wants to see that. Wear a plain mask. Or floral. You know, I don't know. Nice pattern's fine. But I don't care how you feel about Cuomo on your mask. I just want you to wear the mask. We can be safe and get back to normal life. So, keep it going, and we'll see you next time.